My name is Melissa. I'm 24 years old. I trusted him completely. For 6 years, I believed every word he said, every excuse, every late-night work emergency, every tired smile when he walked through that door at 2 a.m. He was my husband, my safe place, my forever, or at least that's what I thought. Because the truth was waiting for me in the dark every single night, just outside my reach. And the scariest part is, I felt it. That tiny voice inside me kept whispering, "Something's wrong, Melissa. Something isn't adding up." But love has a dangerous way of blinding you, of making lies feel like comfort and doubt feel like betrayal. Until one night, I stopped ignoring that voice. One night, I followed him, and what I saw, it didn't just break my heart, it changed me forever. It turned love into rage, trust into revenge, and by the time I was done, he wished I had never found out. Before we dive into this story, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from and what time is it there right now? And if you feel these kinds of stories deep in your soul, if you love raw, emotional, real-life drama, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. This is the story of how my marriage turned into a nightmare I never saw coming. If you had met us, you would have said we were perfect. That's what everyone always said. Couple goals, made for each other. Fairy tale love. I used to smile when I heard that. I used to feel proud, because from the outside, it did look perfect. My husband, Daniel, was everything I thought I wanted. He was calm, responsible, gentle, the kind of man who remembered small details, like how I liked my coffee, or the exact way I folded my blankets before sleeping. We got married young. I was 21, he was 27. People warned me, "You're too young, Melissa. Take your time. Marriage isn't a game." But I didn't listen, because when you're in love, real, deep, consuming love, you don't think about consequences. You think about forever. And I thought Daniel was mine. The first year of our marriage was peaceful, not overly exciting, not dramatic, just comfortable. We had routines, morning coffee together, quick texts during the day, dinner at home almost every night. And then something started to change. At first, it was small, so small I almost didn't notice. Daniel started coming home late. "Work's been crazy," he said. "I've got a new project. My boss is putting pressure on me." And I believed him. Why wouldn't I? He was working in finance. Long hours weren't unusual. I even felt bad for doubting him. But then late became later. 10 p.m. turned into midnight. Midnight turned into 2 a.m. And suddenly I was eating dinner alone every night. I remember one specific night. I had made his favorite meal, creamy garlic pasta with grilled chicken. I lit candles, set the table nicely, even wore the dress he once said he loved on me. I waited, and waited, and waited. By the time he walked in, it was 1:47 a.m. The candles had melted down into wax puddles, the food was cold, and I was sitting on the couch, half asleep, half heartbroken. "Oh, you're still awake?" he said, casually, like it was nothing, like I wasn't sitting there waiting for him for hours. "I made dinner," I said softly. He glanced at the table for barely a second. "I already ate," he replied, walking straight to the bedroom. That moment, something inside me cracked, just a little. After that, it became a pattern. Late nights, short answers, less eye contact, less everything. I tried talking to him. "Daniel, are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm just tired." "Are we okay?" "Of course we are. You're overthinking." That word, overthinking, it became his shield, his escape, his way of making me feel like the problem instead of whatever he was hiding. Weeks turned into months, and slowly I started losing myself. I stopped dressing up, stopped cooking special meals, stopped waiting by the door. Because hope is exhausting when it's one-sided. But the worst part wasn't the distance. It was the feeling, that gut feeling, the one that wouldn't go away. Something was wrong, and deep down, I knew it. One evening, I decided to clean his car. I don't even know why. Maybe I was trying to feel useful again. Maybe I just needed a distraction from the emptiness. As I vacuumed the front seat, I noticed something. A receipt. Crumpled, half hidden under the passenger seat. I picked it up. It was from a restaurant. Not just any restaurant, a fancy one. The kind of place we never went because Daniel always said it was too expensive. My heart started beating faster. Date, last night. Time, 9:32 p.m. 2 meals, 2 drinks, 2 desserts. 2. I stood there, frozen. He told me he was at work. He said he was too busy to even eat properly. So who was he having dinner with? And why did he lie? That night, I didn't say anything. I just watched him, observed him. The way he avoided my eyes, the way he kept checking his phone, the way he smiled, but not at me. And for the first time, I didn't feel confused. I felt something else, something darker. Suspicion. And once suspicion enters your heart, it doesn't leave quietly. It grows. It whispers. It demands answers. That night, as Daniel fell asleep beside me, I stared at the ceiling, wide awake, my mind racing, my heart aching, my instincts screaming. And that's when I made a decision that would change everything. I was going to follow him, but I had no idea that what I was about to discover was far worse than betrayal.
The next day, I acted normal. Or at least I tried to. I made breakfast. I smiled when he looked at me. I even asked about his busy schedule like I always did. And just like always, he lied. Late night again, Daniel said casually, scrolling through his phone. Don't wait up. Those 3 words used to hurt. But this time, they fueled me. Because tonight, I wasn't waiting. Tonight, I was watching. The entire day felt heavier than usual. Every minute stretched. Every second carried tension. I kept replaying that receipt in my head. 2 meals, 2 drinks, 2 desserts. 2. That number echoed inside me like a warning. At 8:15 p.m., Daniel got ready to leave. He wore a shirt I had never seen before. Dark blue, perfectly ironed. He smelled different too, not like his usual cologne. Something sharper, more intentional. Big meeting? I asked, leaning against the doorway. He barely looked at me. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Another lie. At 8:32 p.m., he walked out the door. At 8:34 p.m., I followed. My hands were shaking as I grabbed my keys. I had never done something like this before, never imagined I would. But love changes you, and betrayal? It transforms you into someone you don't even recognize. I kept a safe distance behind his car, far enough so he wouldn't notice, close enough so I wouldn't lose him. My heart was pounding so loud, I was sure I could hear it over the engine. Every turn he made felt like a test. Every red light felt like torture. And then, he didn't go to his office. He didn't even go near it. Instead, he turned toward the city center, toward the part of town filled with expensive restaurants, dim lights, and secrets. My chest tightened. No, 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 no. This can't be what I think it is. He pulled into a parking lot, and when I saw the sign, my breath caught in my throat. It was the same restaurant, the one on the receipt. I parked across the street, my hands gripping the steering wheel so tight they started to hurt. Okay, Melissa, you wanted the truth. Now take it. I stepped out of the car slowly. Every step toward that restaurant felt heavier than the last, like I was walking toward something that would destroy me. And maybe, deep down, I already knew it would. Through the glass windows, I could see inside, soft golden lighting, couples sitting close together, laughing, smiling, falling in love. And then I saw him, Daniel, sitting at a corner table, and he wasn't alone. There was a woman sitting across from him, young, beautiful, confident, the kind of woman who didn't look like she questioned her worth, the kind of woman I used to be. My vision blurred for a second, but I forced myself to focus, because I needed to see this. I needed to know. She reached across the table and touched his hand, and he didn't pull away. He smiled, that soft, warm smile, the one I thought belonged to me. Something inside me shattered, not cracked, not bruised, shattered. I wanted to run. I wanted to scream. I wanted to storm in there and demand answers, but I didn't. Instead, I stood there, frozen, watching my entire marriage collapse in silence. Minutes passed, or maybe hours. I don't even know anymore. Time stopped making sense. And then, something happened that made everything worse. The waiter brought dessert, 2 plates, 2 spoons. Daniel picked up 1 spoon, took a bite, and then leaned forward, feeding her with the same spoon. That was it. That was the moment love died. But what was born in its place was something far more dangerous. Calm. A strange, terrifying calm took over me, the kind of calm that comes right before a storm. I stepped back, turned around, and walked away. No tears, no confrontation, no scene. Because in that moment, I realized something. He didn't deserve my pain. He deserved my silence, my patience, my plan. That night, I went home before him. I changed into my pajamas, sat on the couch, and waited. At 1:52 a.m., the door opened, right on time. "Hey," he said casually, "long night." I looked up at him, and for the first time in years, I didn't see my husband. I saw a stranger. "Tiring?" I asked softly. "Yeah," he sighed, loosening his tie. "Didn't even get time to eat properly." "Lie." I smiled, a small, controlled smile. "Don't worry," I said. "You should get some rest." He nodded, completely unaware, completely comfortable, completely convinced that I still believed him. And that was his biggest mistake. Because from that night on, I stopped being his loving wife and started becoming something else. Someone patient, someone observant, someone dangerous. I wasn't going to confront him. Not yet. No, That would be too easy, too quick, too kind. Because he didn't just lie once. He didn't just make a mistake. He built a life on top of deception. Night after night, excuse after excuse, smile after smile. So I decided I was going to let him continue. Let him think he was safe. Let him believe his lies were perfect. Let him dig his own grave, deeper and deeper. And when the time came, I wouldn't just expose him. I would destroy the illusion he had been hiding behind for years, piece by piece. Because betrayal doesn't just deserve confrontation. Sometimes it deserves revenge.